Pete, I think the one thing that struck me after the game against Minnesota, you were not happy. Your players were not happy, even though there were some positives against a Big Ten team. You didn't win, and you were focused more on the mistakes. Is that a sign of maturity of where you as a coach in this program is?
Well, I hope so. There's no moral victories, and that was a game that we were very much in it the entire time. Had our opportunities to win it, to certainly make it even more competitive down the stretch, and just didn't play enough complementary football for 4 quarters to make that happen. But there were a lot of good things that came from that game. We did hold up pretty well physically, and yeah, there's no moral victories, right? So to come out of a game like that and just be happy with the pats on the back that you were competitive and you kept it close and you competed well. That's not why we sign up to do what we do. We want to go in and try to win these games. A
lot of times, MAC versus Big Ten can be a physical mismatch by the nature of the players that the other school has. How encouraged are you that, to your words, there was not that physical mismatch? Yeah, particularly on the defensive front, I thought we held up very well. And going into the season, we were pretty confident that that would be the strength of our team, and to see how those guys performed. We were able to get to the quarterback a number of times. We were able to limit the number of explosive runs. We definitely missed some tackles and didn't fit some things as well as we would like to, but there were definitely some encouraging signs from our defense in the first week. I know you always like the opportunity to talk a little bit about your special teams. Dylan Drennan, your punter, made a heck of a debut, averaging 44 yards a kick. We didn't know very much about him. How pleased were you with his performance? Very pleased. He's a very conscientious guy, very dedicated, very bright. He's an engineer and almost a 4.0 kind of student, but to go out in that environment in your first college game, and he also did a nice job holding for us. There was one punt at the end that came down a little bit too much down the hash, and he sort of out-punted the coverage. But our guys hustled down there, and I think we still netted 40-plus yards. So overall, a pretty good night for him. Hopefully we don't have to use him quite as much in every game the rest of the season, but he was certainly up to the challenge. Talking with Bulls head coach Pete Lembo as we get you ready for the home opener, the Bulls and the St. Francis Red Flash. You've spent a lot of your time at the FCS level. You've been in these games on both sides. What's your challenge facing this St. Francis squad? Well, this is a very cohesive team. This is a team that's had great stability, starting with their coaching staff. They have a culture, they have a plan, they have systems in all 3 phases. You go back and you watch all of their games from last season. There were definitely some nuances to what they did against Louisiana Monroe in the opener, but you can tell that they believe in what they're doing, and they execute at a very high level. So this will be a challenge for us in all 3 phases. They'll have some specific ways to try to attack us. And we've got to get better in all 3 phases here. And I don't really like the cliche week 1 to week 2. I think you do what you do, and you do it every day, and hopefully you're still getting better in week 10 and week 11. But we certainly need to get better here as we go into the second game. First of 7 home games. Not only that, obviously home opener is always exciting. You've got the new scoreboard. You'll have a big turnout from the students. The atmosphere here and how it can be an advantage for your team. Is that something you talk to your squad about? Well, I'd like to think that we will have a great atmosphere, and that will certainly help the team's energy level. It always does when you have it. But at the same time, we love what we do. And anywhere, anytime, any place, we should be the same football team and focused on the things that we need to do to be successful. And if there is a big exciting crowd, we've got to make sure that that's not a distraction from what's going on in the field and stay focused on the task at hand. But we do want to create an environment
where our campus community and the Western New York community gets excited about FBS college football.
All right, finally, it's Learning with Lembo, and we're going to learn a little bit about you as a player because you have a connection to St. Francis from your playing days. Tell everyone.
Yeah, so many FBS teams were Division III programs back in the 80s. Georgetown was one of those. St. Francis was one of those. And there were some other teams that played Division III and then FCS, and like Canisius, decided to discontinue football. To St. Francis's credit, when they went to the Northeast Conference and that conference went to scholarships, they went all in and have had several very, very competitive teams. They've made the FCS playoffs a couple times. They beat Kent State from our conference last year. They took Akron to overtime a couple years ago, and they were very competitive with Louisiana Monroe. So we're expecting their very best. They've got a lot of Western New York background with their roster and their coaching staff. So this will be a big challenge for us this week.
All right, it's the Bulls and the Red Flash of St. Francis. It's the home opener. Should be exciting. A good way to bounce back off the opener and get everybody fired up for the rest of the season. Pete, thanks for the time.
My pleasure. Thank you.